What up, people? Pushing While Black here. Um, it's been about 5 months or so since I've done a vlog, and this one is not going to be about disability issues because as of 11:15 Central Time, Coach Tom Thibodeau has been fired by the Bulls, and I got to get this out. And with me on the phone is my homie Anthony Joslin. If his phone didn't die or my phone didn't die. I've been having like issues with my phone. So we're gonna go about maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So let me bring Ant in. Ant, what's going on, man? You there? What's going on, man?
Man, it's hot as holy heck in Texas, bruh.
Heard y'all been getting rained on, man.
Man, it's either Noah's Ark flooding or Amasadi in Taipei.
I feel you, bro. So what are your feelings, man? Because you're the only person that like watches basketball as much as I do with thoughts.
I think, to be honest, all these coaches getting fired when they have successful seasons doesn't really make sense. But, it's a copycat league. Everybody thinks that they can find the next Steve Kerr. They said Jalen Rose is next up.
For Chicago? No, son, I'm good. I'm good with that. Like, no. Um, I I knew this was gonna happen. Since I've been back home, I've been really getting into the sports media. I've always got into sports radio in Chicago, even when I was there. But I've gotten more so into it now because I've been home, and this has actually been going on for about a year. They've been trying to figure out how to get rid of Tibbs for a year. It's been public nationally for about 3 months. It's been public. It's been basically public for locally here for 6 or 7 months. This has been one of the worst kept secrets in the league, and I understand why they're doing it. I don't agree. Um, Tibbs, basically, you made Jimmy Butler an all-star. You got John Lucas the third. You got G.J. Augustine, and you got Nate Robinson paid. You know what I'm saying? That he's one of the best defensive minds in the game. Um, Apparently, he's kind of the knock on him is he's kind of weird, and the reason that they let him go basically is there's been issues with his rotation, and there's a
Issues with your rotation makes you weird.
well, no, the reason that people say he's weird was because his he never left the facility supposedly. Like he never left the facility. If you know how sometimes you would go to the gym, players would go to the gym and they would like just take a couple practice shots or weight lift. If he saw you in the facility, like reportedly, they would lift. They would make you go through a full workout, and they would, it's weird, man. Like, but he's still a defensive genius. He was on that coaching staff that where Boston won their one championship. I can totally see him going to. I can totally see him not being a full coach and going to the Clippers and making the Clippers a champion again because they're there's talk of him going to New Orleans, and there's talk of him going to Orlando, but I can totally see him being an assistant for a year with Doc again and making the Clippers into something.
Especially if Chicago's paying the bills.
Yeah, because he got 2 years left on his deal, and it's like $9 million. I think I don't know if it's a year or if it's the whole contract, but he got 2 years left on the deal. So if I'm Tibbs, I would do that. I will work with Doc again and see what I can do with the Clippers. But there's talks of him going to. Actually, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on, man. When I did this, is there was talk of him. There was talk of OKC getting him when they fired their coach, and then they went ahead and got Billy Donovan. Man, there's a chance that they might do Billy Donovan bogus and let him go, man. But I don't see that happening. But that was a thought. Um, what do you think about that? It's a theory. It won't happen now with Donovan being hired. But what would be your thoughts on Tibbs coaching?
His voice is a little bit too scratchy for Oklahoma.
Really? Anthony's the biggest Oklahoma City fan I know.
Well, no, I mean, to be honest, KD is not going to react well to a scratchy voice coach that talks like this. KD!
Gotta go a little deeper, man.
Well, this is all I can do. I'm sorry.
No, it's good, bro.
KD, we need you to rotate.
Yeah, you expect to hear, if he would be the coach of OKC, expect to hear ice a lot, because he caught one of the top defensive plays that they would call. The terminology would always be ice, so you would hear like ice like 8 times a game.
For real?
Yeah, I mean, man, like I'm kind of, I don't know, dude. Like I know that this was gonna happen. I don't, and then they're talking about getting Fred Hoiberg here, and I'm like, I'm good. Like not everything there, and much respect to the rookie coaches that's in the finals, and I want your opinion on the finals too. Since I got you here, one of the things that, a couple things that like no one's talking about with the rookie coaches in the finals. Um, Couple things. The rookie Steve Kerr, he has an amazing staff under him. You know, he got Ron Adams. Ron Adams got fired by the Bulls. He was Thibodeau's top guy. When Golden State let Mark Jackson go, which that was kind of controversial in that end, they hired at Ron Adams as an assistant and Alvin Gentry as an assistant. Alvin Gentry, you know, he was on those. I think he was on those D'Antoni Phoenix, um, those Phoenix teams. He wasn't playing, but he was on the coaching staff. So you got two pretty good assistant coaches there, and Steve Kerr being a 3-time champion and doing that the motion spread offense kind of with basketball. It's, you know, it's not just you just pluck this dude out of obscurity and then it's like he's dominating. He had a pretty good offense. He had a pretty good coaching staff, you know. And Ron Adams, during the finals, you really got to see what he, during the playoffs against Houston, you really got to see what their defense actually is, because really they didn't really guard a lot of people, it seemed like to me, but it was kind of like they would play the passing lanes a lot. They didn't do a lot of man-to-man defense, but they would play the passing lanes a lot. And I got to see that. So it kind of reminds me some of what the Bulls were doing when they were having those crazy defensive years, those crazy grindy defensive years.
Right.
So, I mean, and then Alvin Gentry, I'm seeing a lot of like D'Antoni Phoenix, you know, with him. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's the idea that you're just going to get Fred Hoiberg here, and if you're the Bulls, and it's going to be like a major problem for, like, you're going to continue to be of a playoff contender. You'll probably be a playoff contender because it's the East.
I make a prediction. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
OKC and Chicago are going to switch coaches.
Scott Brooks.
No. They're going to fire Billy Donovan and get Tibbs.
You,
But Billy Donovan is gonna go to Chicago.
If they get a college coach, it'll be Hoiberg. They've already said like him. Him and Pax are real cool. Gar Foreman, which is the assistant GM, they both went to Iowa State together. You know what I'm saying? They know each other, so that's pretty much. I would I wouldn't mind Scott Brooks being the Bulls coach. I just don't see it happening. Like,
Well, to be honest, Scott Brooks only knows 3 plays.
yeah, that's why he got fired. Apparently, that's why he got fired. His offense was very limited.
Right.
Hey, man, what did you think about that, man? We haven't really, we've talked about that, but we haven't really recorded or anything.
I think the whole concept of where the timing of him being fired and the year that he gets fired is just it's crap. And
Right.
it kind of relates to like what James Harden said. Like there was an interview that he did with Hannah Storm, and I'll talk to you about Hannah Storm at some other later date because we're supposed to keep this sports.
Yeah, we can go off track, but yeah, let's try to keep it as sportsy as we can because we tend to trail off into other stuff.
So we keep it as sportsy as we can, and we're gonna have the Hannah Storm conversation later.
Oh, we haven't, dude. This is gonna be your official, pushing while black like debut. But yeah, man, I'm definitely getting you in a I'm definitely gonna interview you and we gonna get into some other things, man. Cause yeah, people, Anthony Joslin is one of the most interesting people that I know, and he has cerebral palsy. So we're actually gonna start talking about disability issues and stuff at a later date. But as of now, I don't want to like get too.
We'll be on a special edition of Pushing While Black After Dark.
There it is. So, but yeah,
Saying, the Sam Presti and the OKC Thunder organization, they really don't consider what you've done for them. They just consider what you're gonna do for them. And they were like, because people thought that I would make it hard to re-sign with them, that they just let me go.
You're talking about James Harden.
Yeah, and he was like, it wasn't necessarily that. He said, I just wanted to know whether I was going to have more minutes or, he said, because if you think about it, he said, we all grew up together in that organization.
Right.
And he was telling another article that I read. He was like, man, we were just, he said, like, playing for OKC was more than just the game. He said, a lot of times, I would stay over at Kevin Durant's house. And he was like, now, playing in Houston, he said, I miss that, And I think you can see from the playoffs, he's not really adept at being the dude yet.
So, all right. Let me ask a question about that. So you're telling me that basically because the narrative when he left was always when he left the narrative was he wants to be the guy, he wants to be, because he was this.
It was like I just want to know, I want an expanded role, and I think both organizations see how both sides in the situation see how much they need each other now.
Right. Well, I was shocked that they let James Harden go, man. Quite honestly, I really was. I didn't expect that. I was like, really? Because you know that the final series against Miami, everybody said he kind of turtled and he didn't really do much, but he was basically their point guard.
I mean, to be honest, man, OKC fans will not.
Man, I think we lost him. I'm gonna call him back. My phone has been acting kind of weird, so I'm gonna call Ant back. Hold on, y'all. This might be edited out, but we're gonna go. Ant,
Sorry about that.
no, was that you or me, dude?
No, I think it had to be you.
Okay, yeah, my phone situation here is really really rough, and it'll click off. So I haven't decided how I'm gonna deal with that right now. But anyway, but yeah, man, you were saying about Harden. You were in the middle of a point.
He just wanted an expanded role, and he wanted. But to me, he had the best situation because all he had to do is come in and get 15 points, in the last two quarters.
Yeah, and I think I was saying before the phone disconnected that that he was basically the point guard. He was
Right.
basically like, I mean, cause Russ.
Let me get back to my point.
Okay.
The point right before we got disconnected was this. He's a better facilitator in OKC's offense than Russell Westbrook is.
I agree.
Now,
I agree.
honest, and there wasn't so many issues of shot selection with him either.
Yeah, which a lot of people, when I remember when he got traded to Houston, a lot of people were like, I don't know how this is gonna go. And then the opening night of that season, he dropped 40 because we weren't used to seeing him do a lot of scoring because he would just give the ball to KD and let KD do what KD do.
But to be honest, I'm going to tell you the truth about what I see now in Houston. He's not the same facilitator, bro.
Explain.
Okay. He gets a lot of points, takes a lot of shots. I'm not knocking him for that. He's got to do that in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
But in OKC, he was more that old. You ever go to the recreation center and you see the old dude with the socks pulled up to his eyebrows, and he's got on knee pads, possibly goggles.
Yeah, old man baller.
Yeah, old man baller. But he understands the angles of the game.
Yeah.
And he can work the angles. In OKC, James Harden was working the angles. He could work the angles, and he would basically catch the defense in like 3 or 4 catch-22s because either you're gonna let Russ shoot it, or you're gonna let KD shoot it, or I'm gonna dish it out to one of the dudes dive into the rim.
Right.
And that's what made him so lethal.
Right.
So I think you see now that they needed each other.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey, by the way, can we use explicit language on this podcast?
I'm not gonna censor you, man, but be careful.
Okay. Well,
Like this isn't. I mean, I don't want to censor you, dude, but
I just want to say this to all the fans in the world. Dwight Howard is feminine to me.
you know, I I have no opinion on that. I think he's I think he's not as good as everybody says he is.
You think he's gonna leave Houston and come to Chicago? Is that the reason why you're not saying anything?
Nah, I just don't want to be.
Dude, I think the dude is like that old Prince song. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Soft and wet.
What are you doing?
You told me to keep it clean, so I'm keeping it clean.
Hey
But I
man,
don't go there.
hey man, I respect. Do what you do, bro. Okay. Here's the thing about, and I'm gonna get back to Tibbs in Chicago in a second. Because I do want to get your thoughts on the finals. Um, I didn't know James Harden was gonna do that. I didn't know James Harden was gonna do what he was in Houston, what he is in Houston. I honestly think that Josh Smith saved a season. Honestly, because that was a revelation, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a great pickup.
yes.
We've seen a side of Josh Smith that we never saw anywhere.
He basically told the world that he's not a bum. Where in Atlanta and Detroit, it was kind of like, dude, what are you doing? Like, there was so many like scrap.
The bomb, I just think when you're like 7 foot tall and you're like 26 years old, you have other priorities in life.
And it's specifically being in Atlanta, I know what those priorities are. Like, brother was probably getting it in. Then again, in Houston, I'm hearing that you can get it in just as much, and it's one of the reasons why Dwight Howard is there, because he didn't got it in too much, and child support laws are better. But I digress.
Yeah.
I like, man. I really, what I'm saying, I really hope whoever the Bulls get, would help, would make them better. I don't think that'll actually happen. Um, I don't know Billy Donovan. He seems like a good person, but if I'm OKC, I would knock the tires on Tibbs though, because the I honestly think, man, Tibbs is a heck of,
You'll be better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, because really, offensively, you're not gonna get like much, but defensively, especially with lesser talent, like Tibbs turned lesser talent dudes in basically the all stars, man. Because Jimmy Butler was not expected to be what he is, and he probably wouldn't be what he is without Tibbs. And there have been some issues with certain players. Like, I guess one of the things that Chicago was tripping out about was the fact that they got Doug McDermott in the draft this past summer, and Tibbs didn't play him. Well, Doug McDermott, and I watched the dude in college. You got a spot up shooter, you know what I'm saying, who can't make his own shot, who can't really defend. You basically have a taller version of JJ Redick. And and at the time of drafting Doug McDermott, or as Stacey King calls him, or I think that's Terry Boers, local Chicago guy, calls it Dougie McBuckets. Anyway, yeah, it's we get kind of dumb with some of the names here. I don't know, but dude, like, Tibbs doesn't play rookies. You have to do like a red shirt year if you play for him, which I don't know necessarily how he's gonna deal with a younger team, especially a team that's in a lottery. Because you know, um, I know Orlando has the fifth pick of this year's draft, and that's why I think Tibbs would be better served going to a playoff team, like going to New Orleans, because there's no expectation of playing like a rookie. You got young veterans. So you got a bunch of young veterans, and I think if
Anthony Davis, he's like, you always ask me what killing killing baby seals means?
Yes.
Anthony Davis kills baby seals on the basketball court.
You gotta explain for the people, for my audience, what does killing baby seals mean?
Kill baby seals is like, man, a baby seal could come up on you. You know how adorable they look.
Right.
But you can just kill them and not care. He's just a psychopath on the court, man. He can do whatever he wants to do.
It's especially defensively. Defensively, he's awesome.
Not even that. Offensively, by this time next year, he should be one in the league.
Yeah, you're not the only person to say that. I agree, man. Like he's he's the future, So at this point in time, he's calling his own shot. Right.
Like what's fine to play.
Right.
What's fine to say, phrase, killing baby seals, but that's for another show.
Okay. Yeah, man. I feel like
Christian Wild Black Family Reunion show.
That might be the one. That might be a show. Well, we're probably gonna record before I go back to Dallas. Just because we're probably just gonna do it because there's probably gonna be a situation where I'm gonna need to vent about sports and I'm gonna call you.
Yeah. Hey, you vent about sports. I vent about other stuff. So.
You've been about life and females. That's what you've been about. But again, we gonna do a better show that we gonna do another podcast or vlog. I keep saying that this is a podcast, and I'm probably gonna turn it into one. But we gonna do another vlog about Ant and the crazy man that he is, and the more insightful man that he is. Insightful, rather. So, all right, dude. Golden State, man.
I think this NBA Finals will be one of these finals that we look back at in 10, 15 years as one of the epic finals. Like, when Magic played Jordan in the finals, and he did that little, hidden ball trick and layup, you remember?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be on that level because you have Stephen Curry with his bad mama.
Right.
You have Stephen Curry, and he's not just a jump shooter. He's a scorer. He's like I have a cousin named Stevie, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like a legend in my hometown. Because he wasn't just a shooter. He could get his shot off against King Kong, Janet Jackson.
He said Janet Jackson.
Because she was hot back in the 70s.
Right.
Janet Jackson, King Kong, and Bin Laden. And he could get whatever off.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Steph Curry is, man.
You know what the thing with Steph Curry is, and how people are like, well, he's a shooter. Like, everybody thought he was gonna be like his dad, and his dad is just a spot up shooter specialist. Nobody thought he could make his own shot. He knows how to do that step back, like he knows how to cross you over to get space, and he shoots. He gets space every time he does that, and he has a floater. Allen Iverson had one of the greatest floaters I've ever seen. Like, and Steph is close. Steph is close to second on that. Like, his floater is very underrated. But see, everybody looks at guys like Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook and say they're scorers. I would rather have Steph Curry on the Bulls than Derrick Rose.
Because he can kill you like with a butter knife against doing
anywhere. That brother's a technician. Like, anywhere, dude. And I know Bulls fans, like, I know if I post this on Facebook that people are going to be like, remember the game the last game they played, Derrick Rose won that game. Yeah. But Derrick Rose is limited. He's not a jump shooter like that. He's a scorer. And
And you know what I know is like, what the hell happened?
huh?
You know who's like that?
Yeah.
Steph Curry is like, what the hell happened?
And dude, the tripped out part is like this series wasn't even like the Splash Brothers weren't at 100%. I'm not talking about health wise. I'm talking about game wise. Game wise, they were not they were not at full.
Sometimes this season you will watch them, the game will be over in the second quarter because they lost for time.
Yeah. Dude, the first game, the Clipper game that season, the first time the Clippers met OKC, people were like, "Ooh, this is bad. This is gonna be bad." Like no one knew that was they were gonna do that. And then like the third or fourth game of the season, people were like, "Yeah, this is gonna be a special squad." And Steph Curry, man, like
You know, I knew that was going to be special.
when
Okay, there was a time last season, and there was a time where the dude that used to play for the Knicks, his last name is Lee.
David Lee.
Yeah, David Lee.
Mm-hmm.
It was not Steph Curry. It was somebody else. It might have been Andre Iguodala.
Okay.
And he actually came to the interview that Iguodala was doing, and he said, "Y'all don't understand what we doing out here in Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't understand what the Dubs are doing. We are trying to create a full squad." Hold on, let me say that again. Can you rewind it back? Hit the rewind button.
Bro, go do what you do. It's continuous. I can make a sound effect or add it later, but go.
He said we're trying to create a full squad.
Mm-hmm.
And he said at the end of it, it's gonna be full squad entertainment. 1 through 15. We all can get you.
And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Like they're basic. Like you don't see bums on that squad, and their bums are good.
Right. So I'm just excited to see, this kind of manufactured greatness, which is LeBron.
Here we go. Here we go.
Man, and I just had some of this soda earlier today. Nice soda, but it's so manufactured.
Okay.
Now, let me just
Go on. Go ahead and say what you got to say because I got a rant and this is a
put all my biases out there. I'm a big Drake fan, so with the Warriors, they remind me of a waffle-colored rapper that I enjoy.
Okay.
Okay. And Steph Curry's mama is so bad.
Right.
I saw her without makeup. She's still alive.
Okay.
Okay. I got all my biases out of the way, right?
Right.
But Steph Curry's story, if you take his past being like an NBA player out of it, it's legendary.
Okay.
A cross between Larry Bird and Pistol Pete Maravich. And it's in one dude. By the way, kids, Google, YouTube, Pistol Pete Maravich. And there's no argumentation done to any of that video.
One of the best passers ever.
One of the best passers ever.
And an underrated scorer.
The coach told me you can't average 40 points and 10 assists a game. He said you're going to have to choose. Pistol Pete said, I would rather have assists.
Yeah. Hey, okay. Go ahead, man, because you were you were bringing all this up to crap on LeBron. So go.
No, it really wasn't. I just think in this age of manufactured stardom, he's so, like, everything he does is great.
You're not, bruh. Like, okay, keep going.
Wait, can I say this?
All right.
I come from a different era. I'm 10 years older than you.
Okay.
Okay? My thing is, Christian, if you Godzilla and Bigfoot and that lot wrapped up in all in the one, you hear me?
Y'all hear you. I know where you're going.
If you met a Godzilla, Bigfoot, and Ben Laden all wrapped up in the one, kill me. Just kill me, because I ain't going to win.
Right.
And that's all I'm saying. If you the biggest bully on the block, go ahead and be the biggest bully. Nobody cares.
Okay. Are we done? Because this is an argument that I have with people all the time, and I'm gonna.
And if y'all can see me right now, I'm doing a what, because I know what he has to say.
Okay. This is because me and you have had this discussion, but this is more because I'm posting this on Facebook and I'm posting this on YouTube. So look, here's the thing. Who said he was a bad man? Like, and when I say this, I want to put some caveats out there. What we consider a bad man, like, okay, I'm an '80s baby, all right. So I grew up on Jordan. Okay, so like I don't remember when the Bulls were bad, but I've heard stories about they couldn't give tickets away. They couldn't give tickets away. That's how bad they was. Then when Jordan came, it was like, I'm gonna jump over everybody and dunk on people, and you know what I'm saying, do all types of craziness, right? Jordan really told the league basically, this is what a killer is. This is what a basketball serial killer is. This is what it is. So then you have then you have cats like Tracy McGrady, Allen Iverson, and I love Allen Iverson, second greatest player ever, like second best guard ever. You have Kobe that basically took Jordan and aped his entire style.
What's the name saying? What's the name, bro?
Huh?
You just a what's the name saying because you saw that documentary.
No. I've been an Allen Iverson fan since he got drafted, but I understand.
You know he was like good in football.
Yeah, I knew he was good in football like 5 years ago, because Michael Vick used to say all the time that because you know him and Allen Iverson were in the same like district, so they were always going up against each other, and Allen would just be crazy dominant. Like him, Aaron Brooks, because they all came from that same little area, and Michael Vick, they were all in the same conference. I knew he was awesome like years ago, but no, man, me knowing how awesome Allen was, and same as T-Mac. Me knowing how awesome Allen was and how great of a scorer Tracy McGrady was, it was like everybody saw what Jordan did and was like, we got to do that. And because of that, you had a lot of guys that put up a lot of points, but they couldn't really do anything. And Allen Iverson put next.
Get off T-Mac because if he hadn't got injured.
No, because and I'm gonna tell you this. When he was in Orlando, when he got to Orlando, oh by the way, the reason that he got out of the reason that he left, I'm gonna get on T-Mac for a second. The entire reason that he left Toronto because he didn't want to be second to Vince Carter. Him and Vince Carter, when they played together and both of them was right, There was nobody that can beat them. And if T Mac didn't want to be the dude, if T Mac didn't have an issue about being a dude and stayed in Toronto, then the Raptors would have been something. Then he goes to Orlando, and I seen this dude put up 63 points effortlessly, but it didn't do anything. You couldn't.
Hey, T-Mac is still my guy. He was a great player in Houston.
I'm not saying he wasn't, but
he will always be that guy that punched out 7'6" Sean Bradley.
I'm not saying that what he did wasn't awesome, but what I'm saying is those are the group of guys that grew up watching Jordan and seeing what Jordan did and saying I gotta drop 40 points every night in order to win, and ain't nobody got no titles. You know what I'm saying? None of these people have titles. Allen Iverson made it to.
Get back to your point about the little French fella, man.
All right. Wow. LeBron James doesn't have that mindset. But we think because he's 6'7", 6'8", 250, that, and he's obviously the most talented person in the league, and he can basically do whatever he wants to do. We look at the fact that he really doesn't want to have scoring titles. We look at the fact that he's a facilitator more than a scorer, and he's a rebounder, and he's not quote unquote a killer like Jordan is. We look at that and we say, "Oh, he's not as good as we compare him to Jordan," and it's like their mindsets ain't even the same. The closest thing to honestly, the closest player to LeBron that I can think of, because I've never seen the Big O play, but the closest player that I've ever seen LeBron play like is Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson wasn't a scorer. Magic Johnson was a gigantic point guard, and LeBron is the same way. And one of the problems that I have with a lot of people is because I hear a lot of analysts say he should be on the block more, he should be in the post more. That's not his game. Never was his game. It's his game now. You know what I'm saying? When he's tired and he's still good in the post. But his game is to be a point guard. Let him be a point guard. But because we think of dominance, we think of guys like Jordan and Allen Iverson and stuff like that. We think of that and we're like, he has to play like this. Second thing that I think LeBron gets a bad rap on. The fact that he left Cleveland the first time, though I didn't agree with him doing so, he has every right to do that. They basically decided, which, oh by the way, Jordan did too in his later years. See the Wizards. Jordan basically got all his friends together when he decided to come back, and he put them on the Wizards, and he tried to put the band back together, getting Oakley and Patrick Ewing, and trying to get Barkley and all his homies, all his golfing buddies. He trying to get all his golfing buddies on the Wizards so they can try to go to the playoffs. That's what he wanted to do. So, but when LeBron does it, when LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh decide to do it in Miami a few years ago, everybody wants to hate on him now.
You know, let me be the first to say this. I have never hated on LeBron for going to Miami. I've never hated on LeBron for going to Miami. What I hate on LeBron, I shouldn't even say I hate on LeBron for this. I just want him to be the man every night and acknowledge it.
But if he averages a triple,
hold on. If you're gonna be the alpha dog, right?
Right.
Be that. Don't be, and then like when somebody comes in like Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, up until this year, was the alpha dog wherever he played.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Don't get mad at a person because they're operating under their original operating system. And see, this is what I like about Kyrie Irving. You know what Kyrie Irving said when he heard about the trade, LeBron coming to Cleveland?
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah, I'm going to change my game to play with LeBron.
But look, Kyrie Irving ain't a point guard. He's a scoring guard.
So that means this whole foundation is off. Anyway, I'm sorry, I just saw structural flaw in my apartment.
Okay. But Kyrie Irving's a scoring guard.
But what I'm saying is, he did it in a natural way. He wasn't a diva about it. And when they were struggling this year, he said something that I can agree with. He said, man, I'm not going to change my game just because LeBron is here.
But why do you assume that LeBron was a diva about it, though?
Because the way you... And then this is another thing I hate about the dude. He always puts stuff... Now, okay, I'm going to say this. Him, Tiger Woods, Michael Jackson, who else would be a good person?
Mm-hmm.
They're all great manipulators of the media. Just because you can do that don't mean you do it every time.
Explain.
Okay. He puts out there about... You remember when he took the picture with all his teammates and Kevin Love was missing?
Yeah.
That was to tell everybody in a roundabout way, Kevin Love is not adhering to what I want to do.
But Kevin Love was being a girl too, because he was like, man, stuff was coming out on his camp like I got to get used to balling with him. I don't really like my role. He kept saying little stuff, and LeBron is like, all right, since
Okay, like me and you, we do another podcast called The Push 101, right?
Yeah.
We usually have a pre-production meeting.
Yeah.
So we'll sit down and be like, okay, this is going to be the top topics, but we might fall off and we might go off on a tangent.
Right.
That discussion doesn't need to be public.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying? Some discussions, when you're on the same team, seeing a dude with his shirt off and possibly his full Monty, you don't need to say stuff in the news.
But what I'm saying is, Kevin Love was doing that first.
What I just said.
Kevin Love was doing that first. That's what I was telling you.
No.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes. That's common knowledge, Anthony.
Kevin Love was saying before that he was happy with the role.
Yeah, he said that when he got traded there. When he got traded there, he's like, "Yeah, I'll play with LeBron." Then when he got there and he realized that basically all I'm going to do is be a spot up shooter and maybe rebound, and his numbers went down, then stuff started leaking out about I'm not happy with my role. I got to get, and then Chris Bosh had to tell him. Chris Bosh called him up and had to tell him, like, man, if you're expecting your numbers to be the same, they're not going to be. It's going to be an adjustment for you.
But I'm saying he would do it even in Miami.
Okay, explain about Miami, because I have thoughts about Miami too.
Put stuff out in the media instead of just going straight to the source and talking to him about it.
And D-Wade did the same thing. But dude, he runs with divas. Like Kevin Love is a diva. D-Wade is the only teammate that he that really wasn't a diva, quite honestly, is Bosh.
Kevin Durant is a diva?
Huh?
Think Kevin Durant is a diva?
No, I can't say that he is.
Because I like the way that cat handles himself.
But because Kevin Durant is quiet. He don't say nothing. You're dealing with a lot of dudes, though, you're dealing with a lot of cats that leak stuff out. They leak stuff out. They got camps and stuff. And you hear little things. you hear little things, and they got their little sources or whatever, and they drop knowledge to the sources, and then you hear stuff on ESPN. Like before, I get what you're saying about.
You said my wife's employer.
Huh? Oh yeah, your focus is to get on ESPN.
Yeah.
I have no. Whatever happens, is what happens. Like if ESPN comes calling at some point in life,
Well, I know if ESPN don't come calling, NBA TV should, because we're much better than the starters.
Wow. We don't want to alienate this. Come on, man. You're just throw people under the bus, bro. Nah, man, like, I get what you're saying about LeBron, man. But a lot of that, too, is, like, just understand the role. Like, understand the role. And really, honestly, if Kyrie Irving didn't get hurt, man, like, and he had to be a spot-up shooter, he had to, like, learn how to be a spot-up shooter, really, I think you would see a lot more assists with LeBron because when he went to Miami, D-Wade was supposed to carry the load there, like offensively. And the first year that they went against the Mavericks, they were still trying to figure out that. And I think when it became apparent that D-Wade couldn't really do that anymore, and he kind of just let LeBron just do what he does. And then LeBron had to realize that in order for us to win, I have to score 30.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now, this proves that I'm not a LeBron hater.
Mm-hmm.
All you people listening to the podcast, listening to the Push While Black,
Mm-hmm.
go check out LeBron's oldest son. He is a basketball phenom.
And already knows angles. Like, kid already knows angles, and he's like 12.
Like, he's doing deep basket passes from the other side of the court.
There it is.
And what I'm saying is, the game has to slow down, but your body and mind has to speed up for you to play the way the young man's playing.
Right.
I don't know his name. Isn't his name King?
I don't know. I gotta Google.
Then you gotta Google it. Google it. Where's our research staff at?
Hey man, it's a one man operation, man. It's a one man operation. We'll have a research. Huh?
We had this already pulled up.
Wow.
Joking.
Hey man, we doing pirate radio style, bro. I got like my recorder on.
So question.
Yo.
When you gonna put this up?
Probably tomorrow. If I'm gonna go and
Here, I hope it's as good as it feels.
Okay, you did.
Wow.
This is. You just thought about that for a second. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I apologize.
No, I understand, man. Don't you fine.
So
so cause it's 53 minutes, man, and I kind of want to like I think I got another question, but I kind of want to wrap this up real quick. So you got the Warriors, and how many? I'm guessing you got the Warriors.
I got the Warriors in 6.
So do I. So you got the Warriors in 6. I got the Warriors in 6. Not because, and again, this is not a LeBron hate thing. It's just when.
The refs are gonna help the Cavs out.
You know what? This might be the one, because it's California, and because it's the LA market. This actually might be a pretty balanced. This actually might be a pretty balanced game as far as officiating goes. I don't think there'll be like crazy calls. There might be crazy calls in the standpoint that they want the game to go long. They want the series to go longer, but I don't think people will get cheated. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
So, I mean, I think I honestly think, man, that if the Splash Brothers are consistently on point together and the way they play the passing lanes, I think Golden State's gonna win the championship, man. I don't not to say that because LeBron isn't a dude that'll put up 60 at will. Like if the
Well, I'm not going to say that, but here's why I say the refs are going to help them.
okay,
And you got to free your mind and think about what I'm about to say.
okay,
Stephen Curry, although he's every man, he's not good with being the face of the league. Let me tell you why.
okay,
He's so devout in how he does what he does. That's not grammatically correct. He's so devout in how he does what he does that he's gonna be off-putting to somebody. Like, I'm gonna give you an example.
okay.
Although the daughter is adorable in the press conferences,
Go ahead.
what? I almost said it wrong. The NBA hates that.
Yeah, but she's famous.
Yeah. She got her own Twitter account now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We're just dumb as a people.
Well, if somebody's playing at her.
I know, but still, we're just we're dumb as a people.
This is something. And that's what I'm trying to tell you about LeBron. It's manufactured hype. And I'm just a person, I believe it's what it is, man.
I don't think he's manufactured though.
I'm not saying he's manufactured, Kristen. I'm saying like all the stuff surrounding him being on this. They market the cat as like an idiot savant with basketball.
Which in theory, because we don't even know what idiot savant is. We don't even know what the term savant means.
Like, where's the camera at? Where's the camera at?
No, I'm just saying, like, bruh.
My team is saying, hold on, I'm going to say something. This is what makes the Christian Dean Anthony Joslin podcast great.
Here we go.
Christian always educates me to something I didn't know. Okay, let's go.
All right. Because people, okay, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Because we have an idea of what LeBron is supposed to be, and we don't appreciate what he actually is.
No, okay, let me tell you what it is. I appreciate what he actually is, but I want him to just accept what he is and go on.
But what if I, what
okay.
it...
Okay, can I bring it back to something that we both can relate to?
All right, we're going to go past an hour, because I want this out.
I was on a small tangent, but I'm not going to take it too far out.
All right.
You know how you always tell me to accept what happens to me and that it only happens to me?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like that.
We got no, you know what? Because this is going to go over an hour. Screw it. Anthony Joslin, he's become a very fast friend in my life. And he has cerebral, I'm not going to do this intro justice. He has cerebral palsy. He's 10 years older than me. And I'm a very shy person. And my experience when it comes to socially, not all the time, but like I'm a very shy, reserved person. And he's not, especially when it comes to females. And he tells me stories that I'm not going to get into when it comes to I would say
something, but I went to Walmart today, right?
Yeah. We're going to record later at a later date, and this is going to be a full intro. But let me get this out, and then let me try to tie it back together with LeBron, okay?
Yeah.
He tells me stories about his life and about the reaction that girls give him and he's in awe of the reaction, and it's almost off-putting to him. And me, on the other hand, I've never had a tenth of what goes on in what goes on in Anthony's life when it comes to females. I've never had an eighth of that or a tenth of that, and I just have to tell him sometimes, dude, this what you experience a lot of times is not normal. It isn't. You got to accept that, man, because it's so off-putting to him. This is my issue. Let me tie it back to LeBron. Everybody, he knows he's the baddest man on the planet. His execution of being the baddest man on the planet is, let me get 38 points, but while I get my 38 points after going 0 for 10, while I'm trying to figure out to get my shot back, let me drop 7 assists while I'm going 0 for 10.
And I have no problem with that. But what I'm trying to tell you is, accept that it's going to be what it is and leave it alone.
So, what if I'm telling you he's already accepting what it is, though?
It's a perfect example of what unnerves me about LeBron. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, it's during the Olympics. And they talking to KD about them playing the Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
You know what KD said?
Okay. Go.
He said, this is how it's going to go. He said, me and Carmelo are going to come in and we're going to hit all the shots.
Okay.
And LeBron is going to take their best dude and shut him down.
Right.
And he said, we all know who the MVP is going to be.
It's going to be who?
It's going to be LeBron.
Right. So how does this look? Continue, man, because how does this prove your point, though?
You see how KD was matter of fact about it? He
Right.
understood what was going to happen. And he was like, he said, man, we're going to come in. And he said, we're gonna drop them threes. He said, we're going to rain stuff down. And LeBron's going to shut the dude, their best dude now. And then he's going to get the MVP.
Right.
The only person that was unnerved about how what's his name stated that was LeBron.
So you're saying that LeBron should just accept that?
LeBron should just do what you tell me to do. Accept it.
Right.
It always happens.
Right.
Okay, I'm just going to bring it back, and I don't mean to take us off track. I went to Walmart today, not even thinking, okay, I'm going to get hit on by this girl, that girl.
Right.
I'm just going to get some bacon and some eggs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened. And I look rough as hell. And it's not like it's not like I'm on top of my game. I look like a homeless vagrant.
In other words, you look like you've been putting in work at the West End panhandling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just working a Texas double on the ugly side.
There it is.
So, I mean, that's what's off-putting for me. And then you say, okay, if a person has such this visceral rapport with women, why am I still single? That's another question. Hey, by the way, I'm posting a status in a couple days. 50 reasons why I shouldn't be single.
Are you gonna write them yourself, or are we gonna add to this?
I'm gonna write them myself, and I'm gonna ask certain people to amend them, because I'm really at the point where the world gotta answer some questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying about LeBron, to tie back to LeBron and the close. I understand what you're saying. I don't see it like that, though, because I've seen him in interviews.
I'm not trying to say
You know what it is though. People, I think. Okay, you know what? Honestly, I think it is like people. He doesn't want. He knows what he wants to be, and everybody wants him to be something else. And then when he, and he
Hey,
can't.
hold on. Can I speak directly to LeBron on this
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah, yes, you can, dude.
Okay. LeBron James.
Go.
My name is Anthony Joslin.
Okay.
I don't want you to be nothing else except that dude. And when you don't want to take responsibility for being that dude, it pisses me off. But see, like the example that I was telling you, if I take responsibility for it, I'm arrogant. If I don't, and then I gripe about it later, I'm a diva. So my theory is, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. You might as well be on the top side of that as
Right.
opposed to the bottom side.
Right.
He's on the bottom side.
Right.
And you got to think about it from my perspective. So, I'm not saying Jordan was right. I'm not saying Magic was right. Because there were some things Jordan would do that I wouldn't agree with.
Right.
And Magic used to do the same thing. If you didn't agree with him, he would hit you in the face with the ball.
Yeah.
Both Michael Cooper's nose twice.
Wait, what happened?
Huh?
What happened?
Okay, Michael Cooper was kind of like the first. I'm going to say this, and you might not agree with it.
Okay.
He was the first big guard that I remember.
Okay.
Okay, so he comes into the Lakers, and him and Magic had friction.
Right.
And so Magic would be like, okay, if you don't listen to what I'm saying, if you don't adhere to what I'm saying, when we run in the break, I'm just going to beat you with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me?
Yeah.
And that's what he would do. And he said, so the second time I broke his nose, he learned to listen.
Wow. I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, you got to be old school, man. And see, I grew up around Laker fans,
Right.
and them Laker stories were legendary. You know, and Magic got a coach fired.
Yeah, Paul Westhead.
Yeah, right. So, went to dinner and told the owner, I don't like him. You need to get a new coach.
You know what that was, and I honestly think I get it, but I honestly think that would have. I mean, it worked out because he ended up getting 5 championships out the deal. So I'm not gonna say that it was bad, but it would have been so much fun if the system would have worked with them. It would have been so much fun if he'd have just been like, all right, let's.
It was a machine that you could put on your foot rest to like flex your ankles up and down. Because that's the reason why I get fluid on my feet.
That was a random CP moment brought to you by Anthony
No,
Joslin.
I'm just thinking about something. I've been thinking about this for the last 2 days. I'm gonna figure out a way to design that apparatus. Because I'm sick of this, man. I want to be able to wear whatever shoes I want to on a given day.
We've
I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Podcast, I was looking at it. I'm trying to figure something out.
You good, bro. You good, man. But no, man. I get what you're saying though. Like LeBron, you feel like sometimes LeBron doesn't understand that he's a kid. And you're not the only person that said this. A lot of people feel.
That sounds totally different than me just maligning LeBron. Like, I got relatives and friends that just dog him out and say he's on the level of Dwight Howard. He's not.
Nah, that's ridiculous. The people that do that, like, there's a lot of people like there's a lot of people that I went to high school with, and a lot of my friends, they hate LeBron, and it's because of like he's not Jordan. And it's like, and they always want to throw like Jordan memes on Facebook, and they always want to do a bunch of dumb.
I'm not one of them type people.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up an example. You might not understand it. You might have to do your research.
Mm-hmm.
You know who the greatest winner in the NBA is?
The greatest winner?
The greatest winner.
All right, I'm gonna say no, so you can do your point.
Okay, so you already know, but you gonna let me say my point?
Yeah.
The greatest winner in NBA history is Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Let me run down the cast numbers. I don't care about the competition he played against. I don't care about it was mostly white dudes. I don't care about none of that. Because back in the time when he played, they would shoot you in the back to get a win. And they couldn't stop this dude.
Yes.
This dude went from the University of San Francisco, which he took to a national championship that they won, and he won for 11 straight years.
Right.
So, 86
and won 10 championships. It was a problem. Like,
and he won a championship as a coach.
Yes.
As a coach. So, okay, listen, you gotta look at the era. But what I'm saying is, and I will say this too. Let me get this totally out.
Okay.
LeBron, as far as civil rights and speaking out and being a player, is one of the strongest minds ever.
Agreed.
And okay, now his business acumen is almost unparalleled. But I'm just saying, on the court, kill baby Seals. And by the way, can we start working on that shirt?
Kill baby Seals.
Kill baby Seals.
Okay, I feel you, man.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. And you probably saying to me, with the ladies or with the social, kill baby Seals. But the situation, it's easier to weed a floppy screen down than a chick that's just so enamored. It's hard to weed a girl's hotness.
I just want you to not be so weird about it, man. Because you're not. And you know what? I'm gonna close this out, but I'm gonna get this out because we're gonna go more deep into this at a later date, man. But like, I just want you to understand that like your situation when it comes to that is not normal, and enjoy it, because a lot of people would love to not necessarily single, but a lot of people would have loved to have some of the experiences that you've had. A lot of able-bodied people would love to have some of the experiences that you had.
I know, man.
And just when you go to Walmart, you get hit on every day. Like, when you go, it's like, it is what it is.
And that's the same I'm saying about LeBron. It is what it is. We know you won the league.
Just accept the fact that you.
Durant is like this, man. Just put me out of my misery, man. Let me go home with my 35.
You know Russell's like that too, right? You know Russell's like, I'm gonna just look. I'm the best little man here. Just move out the way.
All right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Steph Curry, you know what gets Stephen Curry over?
Yeah.
He's got that chip on his shoulder about not being included, not being recruited. And he was like, they knew I could play. I was just small.
But the best thing that he did you see the E60 documentary though? The best thing that he did was stay at Davidson one more year and learn how to be a point guard, because he was a shooting guard before, and he learned how to be a point guard and learn how to handle better. That's one of the best decisions that he did. He's like, because I think the year that he had that crazy Davidson run, he went back to school.
Yeah, he did.
And he said that was one of the best decisions he ever made because he had to learn another position.
Gotcha.
So,
Hey, question.
yo,
Right at our time limit.
we went over our time limit by like 15 minutes, bro. But it's all good. So anyway, that's the Pushing While Black vlog for today. I want to thank Anthony Joslin for popping on with me and letting me vent some frustrations about Tibbs, and then we go into a larger thing with basketball. Ant's gonna be a contributor periodically. I don't know how often, but he's a good dude, and we always have good conversations. So you're gonna hear a lot more of him.
Got you. Salute, people.
All right, man.
After that Push 101, the second greatest podcast I'm involved with.
Yeah, that's more of an Anthony driven podcast where I'm just the co-pilot, you know. But yeah, we're still in the dark show phase of that. That's gonna be more involved and more, like he said, there's pre-production meetings and all this stuff. This is kind of just the off the cuff type of thing. But it turned out real well, man, and I appreciate it.
Be on the lookout for Christian Dean's next podcast. I digress, which is him talking more about social anomalies.
My man got me in a network already. Like we going in.
I told you I was gonna get you going.
And for the people that don't know, we're the we're the greatest champions of each other, and we're gonna get it going. But yeah, this and I appreciate it, man, and I'm gonna let you go. All right.
Damn, bro, I appreciate you having me on, man. We'll do it again.
All right, man. I'll get at you.
All right, bro.
Later.